Just how worried are Americans today about possible acts of terrorism within the United States? We have updated Americans' views on terrorism. Let's share the results with you. First question, how likely is it that there will be an act of terrorism in the United States over the next several weeks? In the fall of 2001, we had at one point in October as high as 85% of Americans who said it was very or somewhat likely that there would be another terrorist attack within the next several weeks. Currently, we have 40% of Americans who say it is very or somewhat likely there will be an act of terrorism in the U.S. within the next several weeks. But keep in mind that just 16% say not at all likely. Another question, how worried are you that you or someone in your family will be a victim of terrorism? The high point for this, again, came in the fall of 2001. At one point, we had over 50% of Americans saying they were very or somewhat worried. Now that's down to 44%. We ask, are the U.S. and its allies winning the war on terrorism? Are the terrorists winning, or is neither side winning? We now have, by some reckoning, the most pessimistic view of the war on terror that we have recorded since 9/11. Only 29% of Americans say that the U.S. and its allies are winning. Just 20% think terrorists are winning the war on terror. Continuing these thoughts, the administration certainly has put forth the position that the war in Iraq is part of the war on terror. 53% of Americans, however, say that it's not, that it is a separate military action. We did, for the first time in this survey, ask if Americans believe that the war in Afghanistan is part of the war on terrorism, and here we do get a clear majority who say yes, it is. So Americans in their minds are differentiating U.S. military involvement in Afghanistan, yes, that's part of the war on terror, from U.S. military involvement in Iraq. No, saith the majority of Americans, that's not part of the war on terror. Join us tomorrow for more insights on American public opinion. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Editor-in-Chief of the Gallup Poll with Democracy on Demand. Take the daily briefing with you. Search for Gallup at the iTunes Music Store.